Hi, I'm in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I'm streaming live right now. I streamed live the other day. This is my second stream here. So I'm going to go walk around Hoboken a little bit. I'm right near the Hudson River. If you're watching me right now, tell your friends that I'm streaming live, because I'm going to be doing this for maybe an hour or so. I'm going to walk around, and I hope people watch this video while I'm streaming. That'd be nice. So this is the Hudson River right here. I'm right here. That's New York City over there across the river. It's a little chilly out today. It's about 35 or 40 degrees out right now. I'm standing right next to the river and it is real cold. Usually there's a lot of seagulls here, but oh, there's a seagull right there. Hey, seagull, he looks real cold too. He looks as cold as I feel. Me and the seagull. Hello, Mr. Seagull. I like seagulls. Usually there's like about 50 of them sitting here, but it's a little cold out. This is the only one here. I didn't even see him there. He was so quiet. Oh, here's another one. I'm surrounded by seagulls. I didn't even know it. Damn. This guy looks cold too. That guy looks real cold. He looks like I feel. So this one, he looks like he's doing all right. But usually there's like 50 of them here. I only see 2 of them here. They were so quiet, I didn't even know they were here. They snuck up on me. So that's New York over there. And that's the Hoboken clock tower. This is the train station right here. Hey, a pigeon just showed up. I'm surprised the birds are out today. It's so cold. And anyway, I'm going to walk around Hoboken a little bit. That's the Hoboken clock tower. This is a train station. This was built in the 1800s. This train station is like real old. The guy who built this train station, he was like a railroad pioneer. He created a lot of improvements for the steam engine. His name was Stevens, and he lived here in Hoboken. And he made the railroad here in Hoboken. Hoboken is like a big hub for transportation. Has been for like over a century. So a lot of people used to come in here. People from all over the country used to come in here to Hoboken and and then go to catch the ferry. The ferry leaves here. There's a ferry station here too. It's the Lackawanna Ferry. This is the terminal building over here. This is like during World War I and World War II, all the troops came to Hoboken to ship out to Europe. So Hoboken was like a big transportation hub. These are all the train tracks right here. These are the New Jersey Transit trains, the big trains. I use the light rail sometimes. I've ridden on this train too. I went to Philadelphia one time. These are the trains that go out to across New Jersey. You can go to Philadelphia on these trains. You can make connections elsewhere. So I'm going to, here's the trains right here. These are the New Jersey Transit diesel trains. These are like nice trains. These run on diesel. The light rail uses electricity. These are the New Jersey Transit trains. Not too many people here today. It's kind of cold out, kind of a slow day in Hoboken. Anyway, this is the New Jersey train station here. This is like a real old train station. And take a look at it. It's like an old from the 1800s. It's like beautiful in here. They got it closed because of the COVID. I mean the seating, but I see they have some of the seats are open. They have seats, see all these other 2 rows here. There's your ticket booths. They renovated this about 20 years ago. It's got a Tiffany ceiling. Look at that. That's all Tiffany glass up there. It's beautiful in here. It's like an old 1800s train station. They got all these, they had a Hurricane Sandy about 10 years ago. And the river flooded, the Hudson River flooded Hoboken. Hoboken was under like 4 feet of water, the whole town. This train station was underwater. You can see the water line here, where the water was. It was up 4 feet off the ground, this whole train station. The floor was 4 feet underwater. And they had to close it down and dry it out, and all those seats were underwater. Everything was underwater. It was like an old-fashioned shoe shine stand. They don't use it for shoe shines anymore, but it's cool to have it here. It's like an antique. And then I like this thing here. It's like an old-fashioned drinking water. It says ice water on it. Like I guess you'd put your glass under there and get your cold water out of there. It's awesome. That's like from the 1800s. That was like a modern convenience. Get water while you're at the train station. Anyway, that's the Hoboken train station. Tiffany glass ceiling. It's beautiful in here. Anyway, this is the Hoboken train station here. So it's really cool. Like I said, if you're watching me right now, tell your friends that I'm live streaming. We'll get some more people watching, and we'll take a walk around Hoboken together. I don't know if I have the live chat turned on. I'm not sure how to work the live chat. I don't know if it's on or not. I hope you can live chat. I gotta do that so, you know, people can live chat. This is, they got, like I said, they got a ferry here. They have the light rail comes here, the New Jersey train, and they have the ferry. And then they also have the PATH train, which goes to New York. You can go to New York on the buses. You can go on the ferry. You can go on the PATH train. It's awesome.
Attention, Hoboken passengers. The 12:34 has got Bonzai is expected to depart on track 3.
It's got a train announcement.
15 minutes.
Hope you're live streaming with me. Tell your friends I'm live streaming, so we can all walk around Hoboken together. That'd be cool. They got a few things here. They got like a bar there. The bar is closed because of the COVID. They got a little place here. Sells food, pizza. He's got a Subway in there. Subway sandwiches. Coffee, bagels. Awesome. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of good food in there. So anyway, this is Hoboken. Hoboken is like, they call it the mile square city. It's like 1 square mile of people. It's got a population of about 50,000 people. So it's, you know, got a lot of people. It's only 1 square mile. You can walk from one end of it to the other in about 15 minutes. It's got 50,000 people in it. This is the back of the ferry station here. This is ferry used to go out here. That's the back of the ferry station there. On the other side of that is the river and the ferries. Here's another view of the clock tower over this way. Let me walk over here a little bit. They have this fenced off. I don't know why. I only started doing this about a year ago. This is like a parking lot for the employees, I guess. There's the clock tower up there. That's like the big landmark in Hoboken. The clock tower. You can see that clock tower when you're in New York City. Look across the river, you see the clock tower there. So I'm headed over to this pier. They got a pier over here that they turned into a park right on the river. I mean, it goes out into the river. It's a park that they built right on top of the pier. Here's the post. This is the back of the post office. Here's the river over here. So all of this over here, this is like backs of buildings. The entrances are all on the other side of the building. So that's like the back of the post office there. You got this guy here. You got a statue here. This is like a real old statue. This is like a railroad, I think he was like the CEO of the railroad or something, way back in the 1800s. They made a statue of him. It's like a real old statue. So I'm going to walk out here on the park. They got these tall buildings over here. I'm not sure what buildings are, but you can see them from New York City. There's New York City over there. Looks like a lot of birds in the water over there. I like birds, so let's see what those are. Those are like ducks, maybe. A whole bunch of ducks out there. There's like about 100 ducks out there. There's hardly anybody out here. I don't see anybody walking around except me. Just me and you guys. I hope you're watching. Walk around a little bit. So we're going to go out on the pier here on the park. It's too cold to be outside. That's why I think nobody's out here. Usually there's like mommies out here with their children on the strollers and stuff. I see one guy here. Looks like he's doing a little exercising of some kind. This is the park. This is on a pier. This is like going where I'm walking out on the river right now on this pier. Sometimes there's like geese out here. I made a video about geese. Geese like bananas. I was sitting on this lawn right here feeding the geese. All the geese, that was earlier. That was like last spring or early summer. All the geese were out here with their babies. And I was feeding them bananas. And they loved the bananas. Had a whole bunch of little baby geese eating the bananas. Here's another seagull. I see a lot of goose poop out here, so I guess the geese have been out here. This grass is covered with goose poop. There's a couple people out here exercising. Awesome. I want to see what kind of ducks these are out here. And then we're going to go out there and take a look at the view of New York from here. Man, that looks like about 1 million ducks down here. Let's see if I can get a little closer to them. Right now I'm walking out on the river. This pier goes out into the river. And I think that's like crazy. They put grass and everything on the pier. It's like a regular park. You wouldn't even know you were on a pier if you didn't know it. Man, there's like 1 million ducks down here. I don't know if you can see them on the video, but there's like 100 ducks right there. There's a few people walking around here. You gotta be dressed for it, that's for sure. Look at all these ducks down here. Can you see all those ducks? Hear them going quack, 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 quack. There's like 100 ducks down there. Quack, quack, quack. That's cool. On my last streaming video I went to Central Park and they had a few ducks in Central Park, but they got more ducks over here in New Jersey. There's New York over there. It's like lower Manhattan over there in the back. Can you hear those ducks going quack, quack, quack? That's a lot of ducks. I like ducks. I like geese. I like ducks. I like pigeons. I like all kinds of birds. Like I said, usually there's like a lot of mommies out here with their kids. But I guess it's too cold for that. Those ducks are quacking. Awesome. There's some ducks. I guess they're coming over to join the party. Yeah, now it's kind of windy out here. Anyway, that's New York on the other side. There's Lower Manhattan down there. Lower Manhattan, you can see all of Manhattan all the way up. It's about 10 miles long. Manhattan is about 10 miles long. Down at the other end of it is the George Washington Bridge. That's about 8 miles from here. I don't know if you can see it on the video. That's Lower Manhattan there. That's where Wall Street is. That's the oldest part of New York City. When New York City was a British colony, it was just that little tip down there was New York City. And then over the years, it gradually grew up. Everything else was farmland. So it was farmland all the way up to the top of it. So New York City was down at this end here. And then you had like Greenwich Village was like another small town. That's Greenwich Village right across the river right over that way. Alexander Hamilton had his duel with Aaron Burr in New Jersey. Alexander Hamilton lived in New York City. He was a New Yorker. And Aaron Burr was the vice president of the United States. And they had a duel. They got in their boats, on their little rowboats or something. And they came over here to New Jersey and had their duel over here in New Jersey. And Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton. And Alexander Hamilton fired his shot up into the air. And Aaron Burr did not shoot up in the air. He shot Alexander Hamilton. So they took Alexander Hamilton from New Jersey back in the boat. He didn't die immediately. He lived for like a day after he got shot. They brought him back in his boat. They took him to Greenwich Village right across the river over there, and he died in Greenwich Village. A little bit of history there. So that's Greenwich Village over there on that side. That part right there, that you can see the Empire State Building right there. That's Midtown, called Midtown. And then above Midtown is Central Park. Behind those tall buildings, on the other side of those tall buildings is Central Park. And then you have the Upper West Side above that. That's where they, the Seinfeld show, they used to make it in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. But it took place in New York City on the Upper West Side. So that's the Upper West Side up there. And you can even see the Seinfeld Diner if you go to 112th Street in Manhattan, 112th Street and Broadway. You see the diner that they always show on the Seinfeld show. It's there, and you go in there, and they got all the they got pictures and stuff in there of all the characters and stuff, and they have like food named after the characters. So here's the park looking from the other end of it, and these two buildings here, I'm not sure what those buildings are. They're really nice looking buildings. They're like twin buildings right next to each other. And when you're in New York City and you look across the river, you can see the clock tower there, and you can see these two buildings. And when you see those buildings, you know that's Hoboken over there. So there's New York City over there. Not too many boats on the river today either. A lot of times there's a lot of boats on the river. And also they usually have a lot of helicopters flying over. I guess it's too cold to fly a helicopter even. Probably not people want to take helicopter rides when it's this cold out. So this is the Hudson River. Henry Hudson. The reason why it's called the Hudson River is Henry Hudson was a British explorer, and he was trying to find a route from Europe they didn't know how big the American continent was at that time, so they were trying to find a way around it. They're trying to find a way to get around the American continent. They thought maybe there's a way that they had to discover yet. So Henry Hudson was trying to find a new way to get across around America. It wasn't called America back then. It was maybe it was called North America, but he came up here. He sailed right past here, sailed right past Hoboken. He even wrote some descriptions of the land in his journal as he came up. But he went all the way up the river to about as far as he could go, I guess, which goes about 100 miles, maybe 200 miles north. And then he had to come back because that was not the way to get around America at that time. Here's a goose right here. So here I am. I'm headed back towards the city. There's a few people walking around. A few people here, a couple of people eating lunch over here. Awesome. Here's a goose. Look, oh, there's two geese. Geese often travel in pairs, boys and girls together, man and wife, whatever you want to call them. So I guess this is a guy and his girlfriend. Or his wife. They like to eat grass. This guy's eating grass. Let me see if I can grab some grass and try to feed it to him. Let me grab a little grass. Try to feed the goose. Hey, Mr. Goose, you want some grass? You want some grass, Mr. Goose? You want some grass? Oh, yeah, you're going to take it. Oh, he ate it. I put it down for him because I didn't want him to bite my fingers. So there's a goose. Let me get a real close shot of him. Put him up on the video. There you go. Close-up view of a goose. Streaming live on YouTube. So tell your friends if you're watching. Tell your friends we're streaming live. See if we can get a lot of people watching. That'd be awesome. Let's see where we're going over here. We walk straight up this way. Or I can go that way. Let me go that way. Why not? Get a little closer to the water. Oh. Cool. Gotta wear your mask. Everybody's got their mask on. I got my mask on. I should you're supposed to pull it up over your nose. But hopefully the COVID will go away pretty soon. They got the vaccine now. So that'll be cool if they can get the vaccine out to a lot of people. They got these little things here. This is where you can fish off of here. They table things about every 20 feet, 30 feet, all the way along the pier so you can go fishing. This is where you cut your bait and stuff, I guess. Right here on these things. Put your bait down here and cut it up and go fishing. I don't see anybody fishing today though, too cold. Walk along here a little bit. Head back towards Hoboken, the town. They got a lot of piers over here. They got another pier over there. This is the nicest park. They got another park over there. It's not as big, but it's over there, a little ways down. Let me go up here. I'll go like we're in the business district of Hoboken, where all the stores are and stuff. You can see what kind of stores they got. Here's where you wash your fish and stuff, a little sink. They got these spigots here. Is it turned on? No. Oh, turned off. Turned off. Turned off. They got the water turned off because they don't want it to freeze in the winter, I guess. There's a few people walking around. Maybe because it's getting a little later in the day, it's warming up a little bit. It might go all the way up to like 41 if we're lucky. That's pretty cold. A couple of days ago when I was walking around, it was like in the 50s. Cool. So we'll walk along a little more over here. That's one way to stay warm, is go jogging. That guy don't even have a hat on. When it's cold, this cold out, you should have a hat on. Keeps you a lot warmer when you wear a hat. Okay. So you can walk down that way, river, one last view of Manhattan before we head into the business district over here. Oh. I got salt on the sidewalks. I guess that's in case it snows or something. Keep the snow from freezing. I don't know if you've ever been walking when it's real cold out and there's snow on the ground, but you trip and fall on your behind. And I've done that quite a few times. You go walking along and all of a sudden, boom, you're on your butt. So they put salt out to stop it from freezing. They got a lot of stores along here, like restaurants and stuff. The restaurants don't look like they're very busy today. This is like a Hoboken side street here. Everything looks like it's pretty much closed. It'll be open closer to the main street. The main street is called Washington Street. That's like the big business district in Hoboken. Frank Sinatra was born in Hoboken. You know, famous singer Frank Sinatra. He was big like in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I think he passed away like in the early 2000s. But he was born in Hoboken. And people tell me that he used to sneak back into Hoboken. When he was famous, he would come by at night, late at night, and go see his friends. Late at night, when everybody was asleep, call up his friends, his Hoboken friends, and come by Hoboken late at night and go visit his friends late at night, because he was so famous that if people saw him in the daytime, they would he was like the Beatles before the Beatles. So he would come around at night and late at night and see his friends, like about 1 in the morning when everybody else was asleep. It's getting a little windy over here. Got another block to go here. This is called Hudson Street. One more block and I'll be on Washington Street. This is like mostly businesses over here. Not really a lot of stores. There's a couple stores. But Washington Street has a lot of stores. So I was going to say, when Frank Sinatra was a kid, that's where he would hang out. So on Washington Street. That's where all the stores were. That's where he would buy his clothes and stuff. And he went to school in Hoboken. He went to Hoboken High School for like a month. and then they kicked him out because they said he was they said he was a troublemaker. But he showed them. He went on and became rich and famous. When the principal kicked him out, he said, "You don't have any talent for anything." And then he went on and became a world famous star. Made a lot of hit records and a lot of movies. Won the Academy Award. Best supporting actor. I think From Here to Eternity. This is Washington Street. This is like the main street here, main business street. Even this street is kind of quiet. This is the main street in Hoboken. It's awesome. You know, the Lipton Tea Company used to be located in Hoboken. They moved, I don't know where they are now, but back when they got big, back in the 30s, 40s, whatever, they were located in Hoboken. They got a big factory over there. The Lipton Tea Building. Really big building. That's where they used to pack all the tea bags and stuff. But they turned their factory. There's a little statue here in front of, what is this? Bar and Grill. That's like a real old looking statue. Made out of wood. There's a few stores open here. Guy selling some stuff. Selling hats and gloves. Cool. There's a few things open over here. I'm not even sure what street I'm up to here. Oh, there's a McDonald's. That's 5th Street. They got a McDonald's here. Subway sandwiches. You know Subway sandwiches? The store that makes Subway sandwiches. They have one or two of those here. And Blimpies. I don't know if you ever went to a Blimpies. Blimpies got started in Hoboken. Their very first Blimpies was in Hoboken. That was like their very first store. I don't know if you have Blimpies where you live. You probably got Subway though. I think Subway is everywhere. There's a vegetable store over there. That's a really nice vegetable store. Cool. UPS is working. UPS is working. A dentist. I'm gonna go over here. Go in the McDonald's. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything, but I'll walk around. Go inside the McDonald's. Here's Washington here. I came in as McDonald's a million times. In fact, I even made a couple videos here. A couple of McDonald's videos. Enter only. I don't think they have any seating open. It says exit only, enter only. See if they're selling. Oh, they have no seating. See what the toy is. I always like to see what the toy is in the box. Hasbro Gaming. Cool. I don't know what that is. Different video games and stuff, I think. Cool. Come to McDonald's and get your little McDonald's toys. Awesome. They got all the seating closed. They got it all walled off. That's what the seating looks like. I made a few videos in here before. That's what the seating looks like when they're open. Right now they're empty. They have nobody in there. Awesome. Sound effect McDonald's. Cool. Anyway, that's McDonald's Hoboken. Awesome. They even got hand sanitizer here. Cool. Exit. There we go. So that's McDonald's. McDonald's Hoboken. Very cool. I love McDonald's. Everybody loves McDonald's. 5th Street. Go down this way. They got a park down this way. They made a famous movie in Hoboken called On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. I think they made that in the 50s. I think maybe Marlon Brando got an Oscar for that too. But that was made in Hoboken. And they made part of that movie they made in the park over there. There's a couple scenes in the movie. That's like a real old movie though. But if you want to watch a real old movie, watch that one. Marlon Brando. I think it might have even got the Oscar for Best Picture. Not sure what these people are lined up for. People are lined up for something. Catch of the day. Like a restaurant, fish market. I didn't know there was a fish market there. Gotta go there and get some fish sometime. This is like a side street. This is 5th Street. So I've walked halfway across town already. I told you it's only like a mile square city. Mile square. And I've already walked halfway across. Another thing about Hoboken is it's where the first game of baseball was played. The first organized baseball game where you had a couple of teams play each other, officially play each other. That was way back in the 1800s. The first official game of baseball was played in Hoboken. You can look that up in the encyclopedia. It'll say history of baseball. The first game of baseball was played in Hoboken. So Hoboken has a little bit of history to it. It's a very nice town. Oh, one time Frank Sinatra brought Ronald Reagan here. When Ronald Reagan was running for president, his second time, he ran twice. He had 2 terms as president. And I think it was his second term he was running for. He brought, Frank Sinatra brought Ronald Reagan to Hoboken. And they went to like a festival, an Italian festival here in Hoboken. Had some Italian sausage and pepper sandwiches. That's like a very good sandwich. Italian peppers and sausage and pepper sandwich. Very cool. This is 3rd Street. I don't know how I got to 3rd Street. I thought I was on 5th Street. Park is up this way. The McDonald's was on 3rd Street. I gotta get a map of the town or something. Get a road map, GPS. This is 3rd Street. So forget everything I just said about 5th Street. That's 3rd Street. The park is on 5th Street. I was walking up, so where's the park at? The park is supposed to be on 5th Street. And then I saw the hospital here. This is the hospital. Hoboken Hospital. I said, wow, that's not 5th Street. So now I'm walking over to 5th Street. That's where the park is. It's kind of windy right here. I don't know if the wind is, if you can hear the wind blowing on the phone, on the video. It's a little windy. They got a lot of churches in Hoboken. It's only a mile-square city, but it's got like about 8 Catholic churches. I don't know if everybody in Hoboken is Catholic now, but there was a time when everybody in Hoboken was Catholic. And they made about 8 churches. Here's one of the churches right here. This is called Our Lady of Grace Church. I went in there one time on a Sunday, and they had a lot of people in there. Our Lady of Grace. Some people call it LOG for short. This is the park in Hoboken. I made my video sound effect. Well, it wasn't sound effect, it was just dog park. I made that right here. This is the dog park right here. So watch my video, dog park. Had all these doggies running around. Yeah, they got a lot of dogs here today. They got about 30 dogs here. Look at all these dogs. I love dogs. Everybody loves dogs. Look at all these dogs running around. This is Dog Park Part 2. Part 2 Dog Park. It's kind of cool. It's got AstroTurf on it. Dog park with AstroTurf. Look at all these dogs. A lot of dogs here today. Sound effect dog park. So if you watch my dog park video, you see, well, I said on the video that it was made in Hoboken. This is awesome. They got all kinds of stuff in this park. Oh, they made, I was talking about On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. That movie, some of that movie was made right here in this park. And, but the dog park was not there. You're not going to see the dog park in the movie. But Marlon Brando stood right here, where I'm standing right here. In the movie, he stood right here. And he was like talking to a lady in the park. And you see the church right there, Our Lady of Grace, behind him while he's talking to the lady. You see that church right there in the movie, Our Lady of Grace. So if you ever watch that movie On the Waterfront and you see that church and you see Marlon Brando in the park here, you say, I know the name of that church. It's Our Lady of Grace Church. Right there, he's standing right here talking to the lady. Right here where I'm standing, right here. Yeah. Marlon Brando stood right here in the movie. So this park has been here for a very long time. It's got a gazebo. Can you imagine like 100 years ago when there was like bands playing in here, oompa bands, like tubas and trumpets and stuff? That's the Hoboken Library over there. That's a real cool library. Awesome. So this is a look at Hoboken. They got a playground here. They got a couple people playing in it. So here's where the mommies are. And They're not out there with the ducks on the river. They're over here where it's nice and not so windy and not so cold. So if you ever come to Hoboken, come to the park here, walk around. They got basketball courts. I don't see anybody playing basketball. There's nobody playing basketball today. They got ping pong. Look at this. I don't know how you play ping pong outside. I see people doing it sometimes. But it's so windy. How do you play ping pong when it's windy outside? Look at all this graffiti all over the ping pong table. I don't want to look at it because it might have dirty words in it and stuff. I don't want to show any dirty words on YouTube. There's a couple guys playing basketball. Awesome. Couple guys playing basketball. Here's a guy selling, I think he sells tacos. I walked by here the other day and I think, yeah, so it's tacos. Best tacos in Hoboken. Come to Hoboken. Get some tacos from this guy. He's got the best tacos in Hoboken. Alright. This used to be high school. It's a high school. It used to be high school. You know what high school this is? This is the high school that kicked Frank Sinatra out after 1 month. It says it was built in 1910. There's the sign right there. 1910. Hoboken High School. This is where they kicked Frank Sinatra out of high school after just 1 month. They said he didn't have any talent for anything. And they kicked him out. He said his only talent was making trouble for people. So they kicked him out. And then he went on and became one of the most famous people in Hollywood. That's where Frank Sinatra went to high school for 1 month. Before he went to Hollywood and became famous. Awesome. Hoboken High School. In fact, there's even footprints in the cement here. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Frank Sinatra. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Frank Sinatra put his feet down in the cement like that. Maybe that's why they kicked him out of high school. So this is a look at Hoboken. Cool. Well, I'm going to head back to Washington Street. So that was a little tour of Hoboken. Hoboken Park, Hoboken High School. So I hope you were streaming and tell all your friends. Next time we make a video, we can all stream together. So that's about it for Hoboken. There's the church bells. That's the church bells. A lot of churches in Hoboken. So anyway, see you next time. Maybe we'll stream again sometime. Walk around, look at some more stuff. Thanks for watching from Hoboken. Bye. Bye. There we go. Oh. Let me do this. Okay, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay.